Good morning, everyone. How many are? Let me see. 81. Good. A good number. So, shall we start the session today? Are you all ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Had your breakfast? Come
Yes,
on,
ma'am.
someone please answer me. I can see
Yes, ma'am.
your emojis, but I'd like to listen to some young voice piping up there. Had your breakfast, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good. So let's start. Today I'm going to take you through, one second. I'm going to take you through teamwork. Okay, one second. So, if you remember, during my first session, I had spoken about communication skills. You remember any of you? Do you remember any of you? And in that, teamwork is one of the main skills. Okay, and it looks to be easy, but then it is you really need to work hard to become a team member. So now we are going to have a look at what is a team, what is meant by teamwork, okay? How can we become effective team members, and how can we help our teams excel? So first let's have a look at the definition of a team. See, we are not a team because we work together. Just because you are in a group, just because you are working together, doesn't make you a team. So, what makes you a team? See, when you respect each other, when you trust each other, and when you care for each other, that is when you become a team. Okay? Not just because you're working together. Just because you're working together doesn't make you a team. It is a group of people if you are working together. But when you really, when there is a bonding between all the team members, when there is a connection, okay, a live connection, when the wavelength is the same, that is when you become a team. Okay. Now teamwork, the essence of success. Now look at this picture here. TEAM, work. They have given the shape of an arrow here. When all join, when all come and join at a point, when the meeting point, when there is a confluence of all these different team members, that is when you can aspire or when you can think of success. Okay, activity 1. Now, so first we'll have some theory and then we'll go through hopefully something which you will enjoy. Okay, why do we need teamwork? Why teamwork? See, teams are a part of everyone's life. Okay, you are a team member of a family team. It could be a family, a charity, okay, school, healthcare, and community teams. I mean, you know how it is to be a family member, don't you? You all know. And then you have your friend circle and so on. And just look at the picture here. Can you see the picture? Can someone explain this picture to me? Anybody? Anyone? Can someone? Shrikant? Shrikant, I can see a thumbs up.
Together.
Could you please explain this picture to us? Yes, Shrikant?
Friendship, group of friends.
You don't want to? Here,
ಒಗ್ಗಟ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ
it shows
ಬಲವಿದೆ.
a group of people, but then it's different from a group of people. We call it a team because they have held hands. You know, that goes to show the way, I mean, metaphorically, it speaks about the wavelength. It speaks about the connection that each member has with the other. And when, if suppose if they form a circle, then it becomes one full circle. Again, why do we need teamwork? See, teamwork helps, it improves the working environment. Okay, the working environment gets better when you're working in a team. It relieves stress. How do you think teamwork relieves stress? Anybody? How do you think it relieves? Relieves means lessons. The stress level will come down when you're working in a team, when you are a team member. Can someone tell me how is it possible? How does it reduce or relieve stress? Anyone?
Because we can share our works and complete it in a same time.
Oh, one second, one second. I'm sorry. I haven't known. Yeah. My mistake, my mistake. Hello? Could you hear me from the beginning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine,
Yes,
fine.
ma'am.
And suddenly I was like, why can't I hear anyone? Oh, see, that is what happens. Yes. So how can you tell me how does it relieve stress? Anybody?
We can share our works
Very
and
good. Yes. When you share your work, Chaitra Shri, when you share, thank you. When you share your work, automatically the stress level comes down. Okay. The errors are reduced because when you see somebody else, committing a mistake or an error, you make sure that the person knows. Yes, you bring it to your notice, his or her notice. So teamwork reduces errors, it lightens your workload when you're sharing, and the response, it gives you a kind of shared responsibility, and it gives you a kind of a happiness, an inner warmth and glow that you could as a team achieve whatever that you have achieved, and the results produced are, hello, yes, and the results produced are far greater than all your separate efforts. Actually, if this was an offline class, probably we could have had a small a kind of activity now, but since this is online, it's not possible. Okay, so for example, see now, imagine you have a program at home. You are hosting your birthday party. I'm sure all of you have hosted birthday parties. So what happens then? Each one is given a share of something, isn't it? Probably your brother, if you have an elder brother, I mean, he's in charge of the balloons and the festivities, something to light the lamps and balloons and all that. Your mom is in charge of, preparing some nice things at home. Your dad is in charge of, getting a cake. You are in charge of something else. So each and every member will be sharing the joy of hosting this birthday party. Is, am I right? Hello?
Yes.
Anyone? Yes. And when the party is successful, doesn't it give you a warm glow of happiness that together all of you have achieved that? It does, isn't it? Now imagine if you don't help your parents out there, it becomes a stressful event. So sometimes, you know what, my classes tend to be a little towards moral science. Can't help my age and all that. So next time, make sure every day, not next time, every day, make sure you help your parents in some small way. Okay, it need not be a birthday party or need not be a festival, day-to-day things. Okay, you can, if your mom is in the kitchen, if you are at home, try to go, and it doesn't matter whether you are a boy or a girl. Doesn't matter. Kitchen cooking is a life skill. Cooking is a life skill. Everyone should know how to cook. I mean, simple things like, sandwich or an omelette or making a cup of coffee, tea, or whatever. If you know cooking at a higher level, then that becomes a skill. It's better and better. Yes. And then you can help your dad in, suppose if he's washing his car or weeding the lawn, something and anything. There is, if you look around, there is always an opportunity, a chance for you to lighten the workload of your parents, and it becomes a shared responsibility, and you'll be much better for that. You'll be a better human being, trust me. Okay, so I hope you will think about these things. So teamwork is necessary because it improves the overall working environment, it relieves your stress, it reduces the errors, and of course the workload lightens like anything, it comes down, and you get a warm feeling of shared responsibility, and in total it will be a pleasurable event, environment, result, etc. Teamwork. See, look at this picture chart here. It's in a, see what happens. you build bonds, it also helps you in building bonds. The work pace, what is the meaning of pace? Speed. The speed with which with which the output is happening, that increases. You can finish the work fast. So for example, washing clothes is a day to day kind of thing. Washing clothes either by manually or in a washing machine. Yes. So if one of you can help load the washing machine, and one of you can help your mom, of course she can set the wash cycle, then one of you can put the clothes to dry. Doesn't that lessen the workload for your mom? Teamwork need not necessarily be in a technical environment, not necessarily in a professional scenario. It can start from your home. It should start from your home. Your teamwork as a team member of sharing the workload, of lessening the risks, of increasing the speed of the work which is done, and which helps definitely to build bonds. Okay. So because many a times youngsters have, we kind of look at things from a different perspective or angle. The moment it is teamwork, we think of projects, we think of office work, we think of college work, but we never think of homework. Homework in the sense of helping your parents. But please, that is the team of which you are a member from your birth. So that takes your first priority when you have nothing to do. Even say, for example, I don't know about you people, but many youngsters, you laze in front of the TV when you are on holidays, when you are having a holiday and so on. So what happens? You yell for your mom to get you this or that, or your mom is asking you to come for breakfast, and you like, Mama, I'm watching TV or serial, I don't know whatever that you are doing. And your mom has to come and get you the breakfast and has to clean the table. No, just from today onwards, please try to go and help yourselves. Please try to go and get your breakfast. Wash your one plate or whatever it is. Though you might have a meal, try to be as independent and a better team member as possible. Because, see, all of you have joined engineering. So you're going to become professionals in 4 years down the lane. And if you learn to share, or if you learn to become a team member from now itself, it's going to help you become an excellent team member when you go to the professional scenario. Yes? Now, what is a team? What is a team? See, when two or more individuals, let's look at the definition, with a high degree of interdependence, geared toward the achievement of a goal or the completion of a task, that makes them a team. See, high degree of interdependence. What is the meaning of interdependence? What is interdependence? Come on. What is interdependence? Yes, Bhavit? Yes, Bhavit? What is interdependence? Loudly, please. Can you speak a little loudly? Bhavit?
Depending on others, ma'am.
Yes, depending on each other. That is interdependence. But did you see the adjective? What kind of an interdependence? A high degree of interdependence. That means the level of leaning on the other person is more. So it means if you have to achieve a goal or the completion of a task, you are equally responsible as the other person. And they make decisions, they solve problems, provide support, and plan their work. See, for example, this can be, now you cannot think of this from the professional scenario because you are very young. You are just 10 plus 2. So probably you might not understand any of this. This might all come across as an abstract idea to you people because you are still young. You are neither here nor there. We can't call you children, neither can we call you adults. You are in that no man's land of in between kind of thing. We all pass through this phase. Nothing special in that. But then, if I bring this down to your family level, probably that can make you make this concept a little more concrete. For example, I'll take the recent event of your passing your PU. Then, when you finished your PUC, all of you probably sat together, your parents, you and your brothers, or suppose if you have extended family like your uncles, aunts, I don't know, grandparents. Each home it's different, but definitely parents and you must have sat together as a team to make decisions. What was the decision? What decisions did you make? Can I ask any one of you? Can anybody answer this question? What did you decide as soon as you finished your PU? Not singly, solo, you might have decided something, but then definitely you would want to know what your parents had in their minds. Okay, so what was that decision? Can someone enlighten all of us?
Just we wrote exams and competitive exams, ma'am.
Okay,
What the sheet we can get, we just go through that, ma'am.
that's it. You didn't decide anything else, Vivek?
No, ma'am, I just go with the flow, ma'am.
Is it? No, but then definitely see you to go with the flow. Of course, why did you went for CET counseling? Did you go for CET counseling, Vivek?
Yes, ma'am, because expectations makes the most disappointments, right, ma'am?
No, but then see, I wouldn't agree with you there. Expectations, why should you be disappointed if your expectations are high? We all of us have to start somewhere and we need to, expectations should be high. Because there is a saying, when you aim for the stars, when you aim for the moon, you might land on the stars and you might end up getting some stardust. But if you don't aim for the moon, you will not even make that attempt, isn't it? No, my question
Yes, ma'am.
was, even to go to CET automatically means engineering, isn't it? Engineering or medical. So at least
Ma'am.
you had made a decision that you wanted to join a professional course.
Yes,
Hadn't
ma'am.
you?
Yes, ma'am. For medical, I have a dream, madam.
So definitely you had taken your parents' permissions. You cannot decide something on your own, could you? So
Yes.
yeah, that's what I meant. As you sat probably with your parents and decided, and they gave their suggestions. That is kind of solving problems for you. They told what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and not only your parents, even your teachers might have helped you there. And now they are providing you support, providing support, not be just emotional support. See, now your parents have to pay for you, pay for your schooling, shouldn't they? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And that is providing support. Your mom has to prepare. Suppose if you are traveling, if you are a day scholar, it is we travel from home to college daily. Your mom has to prepare some food, and definitely your dad or your parents together have to provide the fees, and they need to plan for this. Even you need to plan. See, for all out there, you need to aspire high. You need to dream big. That is the basic. And then just dreaming big doesn't help us in any way. If you dream big and if you don't do anything, if you don't take a concrete step towards fulfilling that dream, it doesn't happen. And like APJ Abdul Kalam said, I had told this last week also. Dream is something which you see with your eyes open, not with your eyes closed, not when you sleep. We are not talking about that dream. We are talking about the dream in reality, in the here, in the now, when you're awake. That is the dream we are talking about. And it needs hard work. Okay, so now all of you who are out there, you need to work hard from day one. Okay? Do you promise to work hard from day one?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, good. Because if
Yes,
you
ma'am.
if you work hard, it will become easier for you to understand the basic principles of engineering. And when you are thorough in your basics, definitely it will be easy. That's like a foundation. You understand? It will be very easy for you to build the edifice of your professionalism, your profession on that. Edifice is the building. The foundation has to be strong, and you need to start working from day one. And trust me, uh, almost all of our eligible students are getting placed. Already the placements have started. We have very good placement track record, and we really help our students. We would like to see, and we want all of them to be placed. That is the dream of the management, the teaching faculty, and every one of us. But then, without your cooperation, if it has to be a win-win situation, you need to put in hard work. You need to plan your work, and you need to work hard. This is not a piece of cake. You have to work, okay? So, teamwork is the concept of people working together as one single entity. See, all of them have joined hands for one specific purpose. So, the purpose is one. So this is an anonymous quote. Teamwork, simply stated, it is less me and more we. You see, I dissolves in a team. It is we. It's always we, not I. I stands for the most bad word, right? I. Ego. Okay, Helen Keller. I'm sure all of you have heard about Helen Keller.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can anybody tell me anything about Helen Keller? She
Ma'am, like
was
she was blind and deaf.
yes,
Blind and deaf.
yes. But she was blind and deaf, but she turned out to be an educator. And isn't that really
Yes.
surprising? And this was in the 1800s, not this was not in the recent technology. At least now technology has grown. So this is her quote. Alone we can do so little. Look at the word together. Together we can do so much. It is like, negotiating. It's like going on a raft, water raft sport. This is a sport, a very dangerous sport. I'm sure all of you know this. Rafting, river water rafting. This is a very, very dangerous sport. And unless all of you are into this together, you can't maneuver the coracle at all. Yes, so that is what a team is. That is how you need to look at all the members of your team. Same. Malcolm X, he was an African leader and civil rights in the civil rights movement, and he was a supporter of black nationalism. Look at his quote. When I is replaced by we, I simply love this quote, okay? Look at this. When I is replaced by we, even illness becomes wellness. Isn't this awesome? Isn't this an awesome quote? I was like, when I saw this, it's like, wow, this has to go in the presentation. Students have to be made aware of this. Instead of I, it is we. And when we replace I with we, illness here, if you think of this in the terms of a team, illness here can be being too much preoccupied with oneself, trying to take all the accolades and applauses and so on. But you shouldn't. That's a kind of illness, like me, I, and so on. So, but when we start thinking about we and us and ours, that really helps the situation and everyone around. He fought he was a supporter of black nationalism. He was an Afro-American leader during the civil rights movement. Okay, with this I would like to tell you, whenever you come up across any proverb or a saying or a quote by someone, make sure, and at the end of the quote, usually you will know who had said that. A quote means something someone has said. That is what the meaning of the word quote, okay? Quote, quote. Whenever you come across any quote, there'll be a name at the end of it. Make sure you look up who that person is and why is he famous. It's always necessary to learn a little bit about who the person was whose quote is being used. Always, please remember this. Okay, teamwork. What is teamwork? It divides the task and multiplies the success we have seen till now. And look at this here. Teamwork plus motivation is equal to success. And can someone tell me why have I put this picture here? Anyone?
Because of teamwork.
Yes, teamwork. But
Teamwork.
the picture is till now we had picture of people, isn't it? Now suddenly I have come down to insects.
Ants always work as a team.
Yes, ants work even in their colonies. They have teams for certain things, and ants are supposed to be very, very industrious. Chaitra, it was Chaitra who answered. Good, industrious. That is, they never sit for a moment. And I'm sure you have heard about that. The story of was it the ant and the grasshopper? Aesop's fable, the ant and the grasshopper. Yes, I think Aesop's fables. Have you heard about Aesop's fairy tales? Where the grasshopper is busy playing music during the summer, whereas the ant is busy
Yeah.
working to collect food so that and they showed very nicely, isn't it? During winter, the grasshopper is freezing, whereas the ant is warm and happy because it had worked during the summer season. And have you ever seen an ant carrying, a row of ants, a line of ants carrying something? Have you seen that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we all have, haven't we? So I just thought I'll have a picture of, see, insects. Insects, we call ourselves evolved. We are animals, whether we like it or not. We call ourselves evolved, don't we? But then we have so much to learn from nature around us. We have stopped being a team now. Man has evolved to such an extent that we are going back to being the caveman. Of course, in a sophisticated manner. We call it a rat race, and we call it dog eat dog situation. We don't allow the others to. For us, it's always I and I and I. So we have, I think we have left behind the essence of humanity. That is what I feel, and when I look at the situation around me, that is what I feel and think. So I guess we need to go back and look at these insects whom we think nothing of, whom we think are have no role to play in nature, which is very wrong. Again, that's a myth. And we need to learn a lot from these insects. If insects can do, for them it's only instinct. In the animal kingdom, it's only instinct. They work, they live on instinct and die on it. It's instinct for them. But we are much evolved, aren't we? We can think, we can perceive, we can think from somebody's angle, we can do so much around us. So when we look at things from that particular angle, we can always do better. The definition of team: together everyone achieves more. I'm sure you have heard this. This is a kind of very, very famous kind of saying. Whenever people have to give a lecture or talk on team, this is something which everybody uses. It is the TEAM, it's an anagram for these things. That is what they say. Or TEAM is a acronym for these: together everyone achieves more. Now, Oliver Napoleon Hill. This is a quote from Oliver Napoleon Hill. What is this quote? First, let's have a look at this quote. It is literally true that you can succeed best and quickest by helping others to succeed. This is what he says. And who is he? He was an American self-help author. His best he's known his best book till today is Think and Grow Rich. Okay, he said, by helping others, you can help yourself. Okay, unless, see, especially when you are in a team, imagine your team member has an idea, and instead of being jealous of him, if you try together to work on that same idea, probably you can succeed fast, and by helping him out with this nascent idea, okay, his newborn idea of whatever the work that you are supposed to do. This is very, very true. Very, very true. See, if you want to give me an example with which you can relate, imagine you have a younger brother or younger sister. Imagine they come to you for help with maths or English or any subject. If you say, I don't have time, you go and ask mama or papa. Don't think your younger brother or whoever has come for help is going to lose. No, you are the loser. Whoever has come to you for asking for help, your younger brother or younger sister, they will of course go to your mom or dad or someone else, and they'll solve their problem, whatever that is. But you are the loser, because if you had helped you had helped them in English or maths or whatever that is, you will kind of remember things you might have forgotten. You will upgrade yourself there. You are literally upgrading yourself when you're helping somebody out there. Yes, and that is it, and that really gives you a better mileage than if you were without helping someone. Can you understand? Can you relate with the example that I gave just now? Can you relate? Can you see yourself where I Where according to the example that I have given now, can you or can't you? There was a WhatsApp joke. Now, because of during this COVID, it was online sessions, wasn't it? So everyone was saying parents had to sit with children. Even to this day, in some cases, kindergarten or first standard, it might still be online. So parents have to sit along with the children. So they were saying the parents, if they had bunked their classes when they were young, now karma has a way of reaching people, and they have to sit and listen and learn in their children along with their children. It's like that, remembering things, recollecting whatever you have learned, left behind. So here is one more. If something goes wrong, I did it. If something goes well, we did it. Okay, this should be the mentality when you are a team member. And I'm sure you know about a very famous anecdote. What do you mean by anecdotes? Anecdotes are real life instances. Okay, they are not fictional things. They are not written or you know novelistic, or they are real life experiences of people, and you call that and you call those an anecdotes. Now there is an anecdote about APJ Abdul Kalam. This was during his the project Agni, I suppose. He had to, anybody knows this? Does anybody know this? He was in charge of a missile. I don't remember the name of the missile. Was it Agni? I don't remember. He was in charge of that, okay? As a nuclear physicist, he was in charge of that. And then something went, everybody was, it was a teamwork. Of course, it might be his idea and design, but it's a teamwork. Everybody were working on it, and at the last moment, something went wrong. It failed. The space exploration, whatever they wanted to launch, did not take off. And you know what? His boss, his immediate boss, I'm sorry, I don't remember the name and the exact incidents, but you can just Google this later on. Later on, not now. And his boss, he called for a press conference and he took the blame, it seems. His boss took the blame, saying, it was my mistake, not the team members. Look at the magnanimity. Then they tried again, and in the second instance, they became success in launching the space satellite. Okay. And then he called a press and he called Abdul Kalam and told it, since you go ahead and have a press conference because you are being successful now. Those kind of people, his boss, I mean, they are the true leaders. They are the true leaders. Okay, leadership quality is something else. But in a team, if you have a good leader, he can really set a very good example. He is such a great, you see, who takes the blame? Then the entire country was bad mouthing this team because they had failed. But then the government backed them, and his boss took the blame. And during the second successful attempt, he gave the credit to the team. He did not take the credit then. Okay, those are some of the stellar leadership qualities we can think of when we are in a team. So it is, if something goes wrong, it is I did it. This should be the mentality. If something goes well, we did it. It was a team effort. This is just an example, but you can go on Google and you can just look up this anecdote later on. Has anybody heard about this? Has any one of you heard about this?
It's written in Wings of Fire.
You have read? Who is this? Who is answering? Bhavit, you have read The Wings of Fire? Excellent. Good. You should know about the current great leaders of our country. And APJ was definitely a down to earth. I call him the modern Mahatma, if you want to know. The modern Mahatma. He is a very, those kind, and he started from, I'm sure I have read an Amar Chitra Katha. If you don't want to read those, unabridged versions, original work, I'll give you a simple idea. You can download Amar Chitra Katha on APJ Kalam from Kindle. Okay, download Kindle if you have Kindle app. In Amar Chitra Katha, I'm sure you know Amar Chitra Katha, with lots of pictures. Okay, so in that era, he started from very poor beginnings. But he got moral support from lots of mentors. And look where he reached. He became the first citizen of India. You have to, we need to learn more about these people. For example, you have Tata, Ratan Tata. Have you ever read about it? So many of his anecdotes. I don't know, we forward what all sorts of crap and nonsense in WhatsApp. But we, if anything has come which is, written something, we don't even read it. The other day, I received a WhatsApp on RJD Tata, Ratan Tata, I think, I believe, RJ. D. Tata, no, Ratan Tata, I suppose. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. That's one of my weak points because I read so many of these things. I just remember the gist of it, okay, the essence of it. But names I forget. He visits almost all his, he is a multi-billionaire and he does a lot of social help around. He is a philanthropist of the highest degree and he doesn't even he doesn't seek media applause. He is doing a lot of things behind, like some a fruit behind a leaf, okay, flower which is hidden by a leaf. He is doing a lot of help around the city, which many of us don't even know about. So when he visits his factories and so on, do you know he sits with his workers. He sits with his workers in the cafeteria, in the canteen of his factory, and he eats their breakfast, whatever they are eating. Can you imagine? They are the real leaders. They are the real leaders. They are the heroes of India, of New India, not your film stars. I'm sorry to tell you this, not film stars. So please have someone as your role model. All of us need to have someone as a role model if you want to come up in life. Please, of course, if you watch movies and appreciate them, do. But they are not your role models. Please. You need to look up someone to be your role model. That for each one it is individual. Okay? So please do that. So what makes a good team? Like I've told you, trust. You need to trust each other. Unconditional trust. You need to support each other. You need to share the information and ideas that you might have. Instead of thinking, okay, I'm going to develop this idea, you need to share it because it's a joint effort at the end of the day. And if there are any like tutu meme happens, like I had thought about this or you had thought about, no, you need to resolve the conflicts. Conflicts are bickerings or a small misunderstanding that might happen so that the environment remains pleasant and you end up having well planned and structured meetings. You have to listen to everyone and everyone has to express their views. So these are the guidelines for effective team membership. Listen and share, ask and ask and clarify, participate fully and keep your commitment. Don't blame others. So these are the qualities of team leaders. I was just now telling you, encourage your team members to stand up and lead. What is the meaning of stand up? Take charge of the situation, not standing. He needs to give responsibilities and show no favoritism. All are equal. Then the lines of communication should be open. What does it mean? It means at any point of time, anyone can go and approach anybody. That is known as open door policy. And common goals, each and everyone should be aware of, and you need to resolve the minor issues. So we just finished with the theory and many have left. So now comes the interesting part of my presentation. Fables with a twist. What do you mean by fable? A fable is a fairy tale. Now here is a story which tells us how a goal can be achieved easily and effectively if we work as a team. I always love to have a story or a storyline, pictures and so on. Good old lessons in teamwork. The tortoise and the hare. I'm sure everybody knows this story. Yes? Everyone knows this? Is there anybody out there who doesn't know this story? Aesop's fable? Anyone who doesn't know this? Vinayak, you know? Anybody else who doesn't know this? Okay. So now we'll story time. Okay, if you are listening to the story, fine, but don't forget the basic idea. It's about teamwork. Once upon a time, A tortoise and a hare had an argument about who was faster. I am the fastest. Hare was thinking, that's not true. The fastest runner is me. This is what the tortoise thought. They decided to settle the argument with a race. They agreed on a route and started off the race. Okay, let's have a race. Fine. The hare shot ahead and ran briskly for some time. Then, seeing that he was far ahead of the tortoise, he thought he'd sit under a tree for some time and relax before continuing the race. Okay, this is the end point. He has reached here. The tortoise is still here. So he thought, poor guy, even if I take a nap, he could not catch up with me. What is this? Can someone tell me? This thought, what do you call it? Anyone? This is overconfidence on the part of the hare. This is overconfidence. The hare is taking too much for granted. Agreed, the tortoise is slow, but how did he think that he cannot catch up with him ever? He sat under the tree and soon fell asleep. The tortoise is sleeping. The tortoise, plodding on, overtook him and soon finished the race. He was still sleeping. The tortoise, slow and steady, he won the race. The hare woke up and realized that he had lost the race. But when he woke up, it was quite late in the day. The moral of the story is that slow and steady wins the race. This is the version of the story that we have all grown up with. Yes, this is the good old thing that we have, all of us have read. The story continues. I have what was my caption? Fables with a twist, wasn't it? Fables with a twist. Okay, the story continues. Let's see what happens. The hare was disappointed at losing the race and he did some soul searching. What is the meaning of the phrase soul searching? What does it mean, searching for your soul? What is the meaning of the phrase soul searching? Come on, these are all idiomatic expressions. Somebody please tell me. What does it mean, soul searching? Anyone? What is the meaning of the term soul searching? It doesn't matter even if it is wrong. Come on, I want somebody to try. What does it mean? The hare was disappointed at losing the race and he did some soul searching. What does it mean? It means he did some introspection. He sat for a while and he went deep into his mind and he thought, why did he lose the race? He then realized that he'd lost the race only because he had been overconfident and careless. His carelessness and overconfidence led to his loss, led to his losing the race. If he had not taken things for granted, there's no way the tortoise could have beaten him. So he did some soul searching. Why did I lose the race? And he realized. So he challenged the tortoise to another race. He did some soul searching. He realized it was his overconfidence and carelessness. Can we have another race? Okay. The tortoise agreed. This time, the hare went all out and ran without stopping from start to finish. Okay, he won the race by several miles this time. He did not stop anywhere. The moral of the story? Fast and consistent will always beat the slow and steady. This is the new one. Fast and consistent will always beat the slow and steady. If you have two people in your organization, one slow, methodical and reliable, the other fast and still reliable at what he does. The fast and reliable chap will definitely climb the organizational ladder faster than the slow, methodical chap. This is the second part of the new story. The twist. It's good to be slow and steady. Yes, it's good to be. It's a good trait. But it's better to be fast and reliable. This is the new month. But the story doesn't end here. Are you all listening? Hello? Are you all listening out there?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you enjoying the story? Have you ever come across all these different twists? Has anybody seen this earlier? No?
No,
So we are going to see lots of
first part
this.
seen.
The first part, yes. First part, the Aesop's fable, everybody has seen. We all know only till there. But this is the second part. We have many more parts for this. But the story doesn't end here. Now the tortoise did some thinking this time and realized that there is no way he can beat the hare in a race that the way it was currently formatted. He realized that in this format, there is no way he can beat the hare. So what did he do? He thought, how could he win the race? He thought of how could he win the race. He thought for a while and then challenged the hare to another race, but on a slightly different route. This time the hare is started thinking, he put on a thinking cap and he thought of a different route. Okay. Hare agreed. Can we have another race? This time we'll go through a different route. The hare is like, sure, happy. They started off. Hello? Yes, I can hear someone talking there. Please mute your audio. They started off. In keeping Amshit, Amshit, please mute your audio. Please mute your audio for Amshit. Yes, thank you. They started off. In keeping with the self-made commitment to be consistently fast, the hare took off and ran at top speed until he came to a broad river. The finishing line was a couple of kilometers on the other side of the river. This time the hare came running fast. Okay, I'm going to win. But the tortoise also was clever. So the route was different. He came to a river and he stopped there. He couldn't cross, to the winning post because it was a river. The hare sat there wondering what to do. In the meantime, the tortoise trundled along, got into the river, swam to the opposite bank, continued walking, and finished the race. Hare reached first here, but then the tortoise came slowly. It crossed the river, it reached the winning post. Now the hare started wondering, what should I do? The moral of the story? First, identify your core competency. What do you mean by core competency? Your strong point. So the moral of the story here, you need to first identify your strong point and then change the playing field, that is change the situation to suit your core competence. In an organization, if you are a good speaker, make sure you have enough opportunities to give presentations so that the senior management takes notice of you. Okay. If your strength is analysis, make sure you do some sort of research, make a report and send it upstairs. What is the meaning of upstairs here? To your management. Upstairs doesn't mean upstairs. Here it is an idiomatic expression which means your superiors. Okay, managers, management team. Working to your strengths will not get you noticed, but will not only get you noticed, but will also create opportunities for growth and advancement. The story still hasn't ended. Did you think it is the end of the story? No. We still have one more twist here. The hare and the tortoise by this time had become pretty good friends. Okay, and then now they did some thinking together. See, in the very beginning, the hare won. The hare thought he will win. Overconfidence, carelessness, he lost. Then he sat and thought for some time. He organized the race again. He ran fast and reliably and he won. Then the tortoise sat, did some thinking, and he devised a new idea. He came up with a new idea. The route was different, wherein the hare they had to cross a river. The tortoise won. Now, by this time, they had become pretty good friends, and now they did some thinking together. Together they sat and did some thinking. Now, both realized that the last race could have been run much better. They realized that the third race, where there was a river, that could have run much better. How? So they decided to do the last race again, but to run as a team this time. See what they decided. This time they decided they'll run as a team. Great. I think we could do much better if we two help each other. if we two help each other. Hi, buddy. How about doing a last race again? They started off, and this time they worked as a team. Okay, this time the hare carried the tortoise till the river bank. See here, till the river bank. There, the tortoise took over and swam across with the hare on his back. You see, on the opposite bank, the hare again carried the tortoise and they reached the finishing line together. They both felt a greater sense of satisfaction than they had earlier. You see, a win-win situation wherein the task was divided. Both were not equally tired, and the sense of satisfaction of doing things together, winning together, was something out of this world actually. The moral of the story: it is good to be individually brilliant and to have strong core competencies, but unless you are able to work in a team and harness, what is the meaning of harnessing? Harnessing is making use of. Harnessing each other's core competencies, you'll always perform below par, that is below average, because there will always be situations at which you will do poorly and someone else does well. All of us cannot be equally good in all aspects of life. No, definitely each one of us will have a strong point, a weak point. That's how life is. So, what does this moral of the story tell us now? Teamwork is mainly about situational leadership. What is the meaning of situational leadership according to the story? In the first situation, the hare's capability was more. In the second, the tortoise was much more suited to take the leadership of the race. Okay, and letting the person with the relevant core competency for a situation, that is the ideal idea of being a leader. There are more lessons to be learned from this story. The lessons have not ended here. See, note, now you need to take note of this, that neither the hare nor the tortoise gave up after the failure. Did they give up after the failure? No. The hare decided to work harder and put in more effort after his initial failure. What did the tortoise do? The tortoise changed his strategy, because in the first instance, the tortoise did not take rest. It was still working hard, but it could not make. So it changed its plan, the strategy, the plan had to be changed. Okay, just working hard wasn't enough for the tortoise. It had to work smart too. So in life, when faced with failure, sometimes it is appropriate to work harder and put in more effort. Sometimes it is appropriate to change strategy and try something different. Okay, and sometimes it's appropriate to do both. The hare and the tortoise also learned another vital lesson. When we stop competing against a rival and instead start competing against the situation, we perform far better. Instead of seeing the other person as a rival, if you see him as a team member, probably it is much better for all concerned. To sum up, what does the story of the hare and tortoise tell us? It teaches us many things. Never give up when faced with failure. Never. Fast and consistent will always beat slow and steady. That is a fact of life. So we need to work to our competencies. Competencies stands for your strong point. Compete against the situation, not against the rival. Pooling resources. What does mean pooling resources? Bringing in everybody's strong point together and working as a team will always beat individual performers. So this is always true. So what does Mother Teresa has to say about this? I'm sure all of you have heard about Mother Teresa, and now she's known as Saint Teresa. She got canonized after, I think, a few years earlier. She got canonized. That is, she is given the title of Saint Teresa now. What did she say? I can do things you cannot. You can do things I cannot. Together we can do great things. You see? So nice. Doesn't this kind of inspire you people? You know, at this age, these quotes inspire me. So activity number 2, advantage of working in a team, division of work, distribution of workload, shared responsibilities, improved communication skills, development of leadership qualities, diversity of ideas. What do you mean by diversity of ideas? See, each and every person, if you are given a situation, you will come up with a different idea. Each one comes up with a different. No two people will see a difficult situation in the same manner. Okay, so that is known as diverse ideas. See, haven't you heard? India doesn't have one culture or nature. Ours is unity in diversity. That's the tagline for beautiful India, incredible India, isn't it? The tagline for incredible India, diversity, unity in diversity. We are so very different, but we are still one. We are still one of the Indian essence. We are Indians first. And then it is Keralites or Karnatakas or Kannadigas or whatever comes later. Motivation. We need to motivate each other. Better decisions, definitely that will lead to better decisions and quicker solutions. These are the advantages of working in a team. Now, disadvantages of working. What are the disadvantages? Sometimes people end up indulging in the blame game when things go wrong. This is a definite no-no. Unequal in, some might not work hard, some might work hard. For my subject, there is something in one of the modules, students have to give presentations. Okay, so what I do is I break them into a group of 5, 6 or max is 7. And I tell them, if they are coming up with a presentation, each one has to prepare a minimum of 2 slides. Because sometimes you know what happens? All the work will be dumped on one member. And I'll catch them during the presentation. That is that which might lead to unequal involvement, okay, and unequal participation of the different members. Clash of ideas, it's bound to happen. And when one team member desires to outshine the rest, when he wants to take all the sunshine, so when that happens, some might lose motivation because they are not getting any recognition. But then if all these things are there, if these negative weeds grow in the atmosphere of your team, decisions making takes longer. So these are the disadvantages. So you need to see that you never indulge in blame game, but you should always think of involving yourself equally, if not more. And whatever idea comes up, you need always first listen to it. It's known as brainstorming. When you brainstorm, the theory of brainstorming tells us that you have to write down all the ideas that come up, because you never know which idea might work, and no idea, however silly it might look or however foolish or idiotic it might look at that point of time, there is no way of knowing which one will succeed. So the basic there is you need to jot down all. So when you do that, definitely clash of ideas will not happen. And it's always not I, it's we. Please remember that. So what is the summary? Along with immense advantages, teams have some disadvantages too. Every situation, everything in life has a plus as well as a minus. Haven't you heard of the very famous saying, count your blessings? Every cloud has a silver lining. Haven't you heard that? Yes. So whatever the situation, it has its plus as well as the minus. So building good teams is so important because it means building a successful business. And best teams reach the best results. So if you want to be recognized, you need to make sure that you become an effective team member. So let's go and build a strong team. Any questions? See, even the team, can someone read this comment on the slide, please? Anybody? Why have I put this picture here? For questions, if you go online, you will get lots of images for questions. Yes? Why have I put this here? Anybody? Doesn't this look
Because
like
in
a
a
group?
team have several questions.
Yes, very good. Because I'm looking at all these questions as team members, and they are trying to solve the riddle. That is questions. This is round a team. That's why I thought of very good. Who gave the answer? Pranav Prasad. Very good, Pranav. Thank you. Good. You need to look and think. So thank you, everyone. Again, today the same thing is happening. The animation is not working. I go to so much of trouble. Oh yes. Let me go back. Yes. Isn't this picture very nice? Pretty, isn't it? With red zebras and butterflies and wonderful. Any questions, any of you? Do you have any questions? Okay, thank you, everyone. I'll call it a day. See you sometime else, some other time. And today is Friday, isn't it? A happy weekend. A happy weekend. Enjoy your weekend, all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.